Welcome to Last Generation Audio Magazine, your source for Bible-centered truth in a turbulent world. Here we share compelling articles that reveal God's love, expose deception, and prepare people for the soon return of Jesus. You are listening to Volume 36, Issue 2.
A time for choosing. The Bible prophesies that one day humankind will be separated by two signs: the mark of the beast or the seal of God. By Colin Standish. Stretching back to remote antiquity, seals have been used to validate documents and letters in much the same way we use signatures today. The concept of the seal developed from the ancient cultures of Egypt and Babylon. A seal specified the name of the person to whom it belonged, his official position of authority, and the territory over which he ruled. The use of the seal was common and well understood by the Israelites. The kings of Israel and Judah used seals. 1 Kings 21:8 mentions that King Ahab had a seal. Bible prophecy uses the term seal of God to represent a symbolic mark placed on individuals who are completely loyal to God. It also uses the term mark of the beast to designate the symbol for those loyal to the devil and his earthly agents. Before Jesus comes the second time, the human family will be divided between these two marks. Are these marks visible, or are they embedded microchips accessed by computer scanning devices? Who receives God's seal? In the book of Revelation, the word seal is used 32 times. Some of these instances refer to the securing of God's faithful people for eternal salvation. This is especially significant in the description of the final generation, referred to in Revelation chapter 7 as the 144,000. Here, a very special act of God is described. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God. And he cried with a loud voice to the four angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, Hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. Revelation 7:2 and 3. This prophecy parallels an Old Testament prophecy of Ezekiel chapter 9, where the faithful agonize for the abominations taking place among God's people. And the Lord said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Ezekiel 9:4. The mark in Ezekiel is equivalent to the seal mentioned in Revelation. In each instance, it is given to secure God's people against destruction and for the kingdom of heaven. The seal is also described as God's name. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Sion, and with him 144,000, having his Father's name written in their foreheads. Revelation 14:1. Revelation is a book of symbols, so we know this isn't referring to a literal signature in the forehead. The descriptions of these favored ones are also symbolic. They are spiritual virgins. Revelation 14:4. Two texts help us understand this symbolic description. In 2 Corinthians 11:2, Paul longs for the church in Corinth to be a chaste virgin, espoused to one husband, Christ. In Revelation 17:1-5, John describes a harlot and her daughters who cause the world to be drunk with the wine of Babylon. Obviously, the chaste woman is a church with pure teachings and practices, while the harlots represent churches teaching and practicing falsehood. Those who receive the seal of God are not defiling themselves with the false teachings and practices of impure churches. They are totally Christ-like. Revelation 14:4 and 5. They follow the Lamb wherever he leads. No guile is found in their mouth, and they stand faultless before God. Following Jesus means living without sin. Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example that ye should follow his steps. who did no sin, neither was guile found in his mouth. 1 Peter 2:21 and 22. They live to see Jesus return in the clouds. Revelation 14:4 and 14 to 20. Those who receive the seal of God are living saints. The Bible describes them as ripe and first fruits, ready to harvest for God's kingdom. Their characters are fully mature, set in righteousness for eternity. They are contrasted with the wicked who are alive at Christ's coming. These too are ripe. Their characters are set in wickedness, and they are ready for the harvest of wrath. The sealed keep God's law. Revelation 14:12. At the second coming, despite severe persecution, the living saints will be keeping the law of God through the faith of Jesus. This is what it means to live without sin, for sin is the transgression of the law. 1 John 3:4. In summary, God only writes His name on the foreheads of those who love the Lord with all their heart and soul, and who willingly obey all His commandments through His strength. These are the individuals who receive the seal of God. What is the seal of God? In the Bible, the words seal and sign are synonymous. Paul used them interchangeably. And he received the sign of circumcision, a seal of the righteousness of the faith which he had. Romans 4:11. The Sabbath is the sign of sanctification between God and His people. And hallow my Sabbaths, and they shall be a sign between me and you, that ye may know that I am the Lord your God. Ezekiel 20:20. As a sign, the Sabbath also carries the characteristics of a seal discussed earlier: the name, the Lord thy God, His authority, the Creator, and His dominion, heaven and earth. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor, and do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Exodus 28:11. Therefore, the seal of God is loyal observance of the seventh-day Sabbath. It's a sign that we've accepted the moral authority of our Creator and desire to live the new covenant law written on our hearts. The mark of the beast. In contrast to receiving the seal of God, man-made decrees of terrible proportions will be issued against those who refuse the mark of the beast. In Revelation 13:17, the penalty is total economic boycott. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Verse 15 describes a death decree for those who will not worship the beast. Revelation 14:9 puts worshiping the beast and receiving his mark together. Clearly, the mark of the beast relates to worship. The Scriptures describe the beast as a persecuting power who forces the world to accept his spiritual authority. Revelation chapter 13 traces the beast's rise to world supremacy, its near demise, and then its spectacular recovery to a position of world influence at the end of time. Only one power in the Christian era, the papacy, matches this description. At present, the Pope is one of the most famous political figures of our day. If the beast is the papacy, what is the mark of the beast? The Roman Catholic Church claims to have changed the Sabbath from the seventh day to the first day of the week. Of course, the Catholic Church claims that the change was her act. It could not have been otherwise, as none in those days would have dreamed of doing anything in matters spiritual and religious without her, and the act is a mark of her ecclesiastical power and authority in religious matters. The Catholic Mirror, September 23, 1893. The reverence of Sunday was a pagan practice adopted from the Roman religion. Most Christian denominations have inherited Sunday sacredness as a legacy from the Roman Catholic Church and are unaware that the papacy claims spiritual authority over all who observe Sunday as the Christian Sabbath. The Bible predicts that the beast will extend his authority beyond Christians to include every nation, kindred, tongue, and people. Revelation 13:16. When the inhabitants of the world are forced to honor Sunday and papal authority above the Bible Sabbath, those who comply will receive the mark of the beast. In mercy, God sends a worldwide warning about the terrible eternal significance of this decision. If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels, and in the presence of the Lamb. Revelation 14:9 and 10. Taking sides. Those who receive the seal of God will be saved eternally, while those who accept the mark of the beast will be destroyed eternally. Some believe these marks are visible, but in the symbolism of Revelation, it is clearly referring to spiritual loyalties. Those who have allowed Christ to transform their minds will receive the seal of God. Those who have neglected or rejected the invitation of Jesus will receive the mark of the beast. The seal of God is freely chosen by the saints, whereas the mark of the beast is enforced through cruel, man-made edicts. While the Sabbath is a sign or seal of sanctification for God's people, the mark of the beast is a false Sabbath and is accepted by those who choose not to be loyal to God. Only those who have surrendered their loyalty fully to God and to His commandments will receive the seal of God. It will be placed in the foreheads of the faithful shortly before Jesus' second coming. Everything in today's world points to the imminent return of our Savior. When He comes, may we hear these words spoken of us. Blessed are they that do His commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates into the city. Revelation 22:14. The late Dr. Colin Standish was a pastor, an educator, and served as president of several Christian colleges.
Thank you for listening to Last Generation Audio Magazine. For more of our timely and biblical resources, including our print and digital editions, visit our website at lastgen.net and follow us on Facebook and Instagram.